Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Mauro Caña, Evelyn Almeida, and Sheila Alban, we would like to thank you for being here today. And we also would like to thank Universidad de las Fuerzas Armadas ESPE for letting us participate in this international congress. My name is Evelyn Almeida, and I'm going to explain to you a little bit about our research project, which is entitled How Did Children Learn in an Online Course During the Lockdown? We focus on the Piaget stages of development. In order for you to get into context, I would like to explain a little bit about how and why we did this research. As the COVID-19 pandemic started to spread out in Ecuador, all the academic activities were transferred to online activities. However, the Ecuadorian educational system was not prepared for this transition. It's important to say that not only in Ecuador, but around the world, this situation happened. Additionally, a number of parents had lost their jobs and their children could not return to school due to the financial constraints. This situation also affected the high cost and low cost private schools, which lost a high percentage of their students who decided to move to the public education system. Therefore, this article is based on an online initiative presented to underserved populations of children who did not have the opportunity to attend to paid summer courses. Regarding the research or regarding the literature, we saw that there is a gap because the literature shows that there has been not enough empirical evidence for learning behaviors of children in online settings, and particularly in Ecuadorian context. Saying this, we focus on five different aspects in the literature review. The first aspect that we're going to talk about is the theoretical framework. We focus on Piaget's four stages of cognitive development in children through assimilation and accommodation. The first stage is the sensory motor stage or infancy. It begins with birth to 2 years old. Children develop this stage through five senses with the interaction of the environment. The second stage is called pre-operational stage, which include toddler and early childhood, occurs in stages from 2 to 7. In this stage, children develop their thinking process with the use of symbolic functions and to intuitive thoughts. Finally, we have the third concrete operational stage, which talks about elementary and early adolescence from 7 to 12 years old. This stage is characterized by concrete operations in which logic begins to use to reach valid conclusions, and the concrete formal stage, which focuses on adolescence and adulthood, or hypothetic deductive operations from 12 years old to adulthood. In this stage, the child or adolescent use his or her logic to reach abstract conclusions. We also talk in the literature review, we also talk about technology mediated learning, online learning or e-learning, virtual classrooms, and we focus especially on teaching art and science to children. In relation to developing online art courses, it's imperative to enhance the online learning activities or experience through multimedia delivery. Incorporate collaborative and cooperative learning activities to promote critical thinking and peer learning. Provide online students with timely feedback and design for synchronous interactions and asynchronous interactions depending on the convenience of the students. Regarding the science courses, learning should include focusing and supporting inquiries while interacting with the students, orchestrating discourse among the students about scientific ideas, challenging students to accept and share responsibility for their learning, and finally recognizing and responding to student diversity and encouraging all students to participate fully in science and in learning science. This is related with the literature review. Next, my partner Sheila Alban, we focus on methodology, also results and discussions. Thank you very much.
Great, thanks, Evelyn. Regarding methodology, the cause and effect of the courses were analyzed, once finished, as well as the observation per se along the course. That way, children were not interfered, nor researchers were affected by any biases when considering the data collected. At the beginning of the course, many students registered among the ages 5 to 12 from all over Ecuador. Unlikely, not many completed all the activities or assignments, which narrowed the population down. If we compare the gender of the children involved in this study, an increased number of female students were able to finish the course. Results and discussion. Component 1 of science activities, practical knowledge. This component reveals how children put their knowledge into practice through experimentation of the proposed activities. It is worth mentioning that to achieve it, the child somehow has to follow a plan in order to integrate, sequence, and develop the steps required for execution of these activities. Then the child verifies his or her knowledge against that which is transmitted by the audiovisual material. Finally, students show reasoning through these activities since they need to face the causes as to why phenomena proposed in tasks are produced. This characteristic is related to what Piaget defines as concrete operations. Our second component of science activity is verbal reasoning. Verbal reasoning emerges as the predominant factor in this set of activities, which are tied by the use of new words. It is the assimilation of new terminology on the children's mind, which will allow learners to put into practice the recent acquired knowledge and concepts. This component is associated to the pre-operational stage of Piaget, in which language develops more fluently. Our first component of arts activities, abstract reasoning. This component might be associated with the concrete operations stage. To create artwork, it is necessary to develop a thinking full of perception, and this is possible during the concrete operation stage. In addition, children have been able to use seriation, which enables them to follow instructions to reach a goal, and artwork in this case. Our second component of arts activities, creativity. A strong sense of creativity emerges from the execution of these activities through the expression of artistic tasks. Fluency of creativity can be achieved by introducing children in the world of arts by using tutorials and introductory videos to each proposed topic. This triggers the need in students to put into practice their ability to observe, care fully, and note details in materials in a through way so they can complete the assigned task without any problems. These activities seem closely related to the pre-operational stage of development. During the stage, symbolic thinking is developed, which allows for representation of surrounding objects through pictures, letters, or even numbers. That is about us. We would like to thank you so much for listening to our presentation. If you need to contact us, remember our details. If you have any inquiries, our references are the ones that will follow our presentation. If you want to fully look at it, you can always download the complete presentation. Thank you so much.